What is up, everybody? My name is Hector, host of the Insert Name FC podcast, a member of the BellyUpSports Media Network. You can find us on all podcasting platforms, Spotify, Pandora, Apple, wherever you get your podcast fix, you will find us there. Also find the video versions of this podcast on YouTube. Also be aware, just an update on standings. Olympic Lyon is actually now contesting for a European competition spot. So it's very safe to say now that they're out of the relegation zone. And Sevilla, they're 9 points ahead of the team, which is currently in that final relegation spot. So I still can believe. So I'm just going to keep going with that. I'm going to rock with that. So just so you guys know. But this episode, we're going to have overreactions and headlines, which will feature Jose Tellez from Golz TV, which I should probably also tell you the other way you can watch the video version of this podcast is on Golz TV, which is an amazing service that has content from all across North America, covering the beautiful game. So you guys want to know what us North Americans think about soccer? Well, go ahead and check out Golz TV, GolzTV. But Jose Tellez is coming on for overreactions headlines along with Kelcey Coyne from High Low Sports. So I'm really excited to have those guys back on, for them to meet and discuss some topics that's going on in the world of footy. Also, there's going to be a topic that is very controversial. I firmly can tell you that me and Jose and Kelcey handled it I feel like we discussed it very well to our best abilities, and without causing any controversial thought in the process. So I feel very confident. Hopefully you guys feel the same way. So that is overreactions headlines. We're also got players of the week. Give you guys some games to look forward to for this coming weekend, and wrap this show up with a 5-a-side draft that will feature two guys from the Korner Booth Podcast. Kelcey Coyne will also be on the 5-a-side draft, but Jared Klim, if you guys remember from the Bar Drinks draft, and Matt Odrazzo, who is also joining in. Both guys are from the Korner Booth Podcast, so it was a very fun draft. The topic was people that let blank be their personalities. I think it was a very fun draft, very, very fun discussion, so hopefully you guys enjoyed that. But yeah, so all reactions, headlines, players of the week, games to look forward to, and 5-a-side draft. Should be a really fun episode. So sit back and relax and enjoy this podcast. So we're going to go ahead and take a break and then going right into overreactions.
Righteous Felon Craft Jerky is the official jerky of BellyUpSports. For over a decade, Righteous Felon Craft Jerky has led the American meat snack revolution by concocting delicious, adventurous, U.S.-sourced jerky recipes for uncompromising carnivores across the country. With 15 different flavors to choose from, Righteous Felon has all jerky lovers covered, and by using promo code BELLYUP, you will get 15% off your purchase at RighteousFelon.com. Do your taste buds a favor today and rip into a bag of Righteous Felon jerky.
All right, guys, we're back. Make sure you guys follow Insert Name FC on Instagram and X. See, I remember this time. At the X, at Insert Name FC. Also, check us out on TikTok, insert.name.fc. We post clips there on episodes. I need to go back to doing these like filter challenges again because I pissed off a lot of people with my top 10s, which is like I have no control of who comes next. And it's like, oh, do I rate them a little higher or do I rate them a little lower? And then I end up with Nasri. I don't know. I can't gamble. I don't like the odds.
It might have been the best one I've ever witnessed, by the way.
Yeah, it was.
I would throw that out there. You getting Samir Nasri out of everything is hilarious.
Yeah, pure entertainment. But yeah, so go ahead and check it out. Joining me, we got Jose Tellez from Golz TV, creator, founder. I don't know how many titles we're gonna keep throwing on you. I mean, it's all the same thing. It's all synonyms, but hey, it makes a great resume.
Throw all the titles out there, bro. I'm not gonna fight you on any one of those, bro. I appreciate it.
Founder, creator, CEO, owner,
visionary, storyteller. You tell me, bro. You throw them all out there. I'm good.
El Presidente.
And of course, joining me, you guys are familiar with that voice, is Kelcey Coyne, our super sub that we have for so many years that I kind of forgot for a bit. But hey, Kelcey's back.
To be fair, you didn't really forget about me. I just have been busy. Honestly, it's good to be back. Like I said, every time I come on, don't get to talk soccer enough in my life. So this is always the best opportunity I have. Love it. Glad to be with you guys finally yet again. It's been far, far too long.
Hell yeah.
Also, a guy that wears many hats over at BellyUpSports. So,
sometimes, if they fit my big head.
Yeah, that's a big if. But all right, man. So obviously, we always kick things off with overreactions. I mean, Jose's been chomping at the bit. Kelcey, I don't know if you want to go first. You want to let it rip with for Jose.
I'm afraid to follow him, but I still want to hear what he has to say first. So I'm gonna take the reins here.
All right,
yeah, bro. I mean, look, at the end of the day, bro. Look, we're recording on a crazy day Premier League wise. As an Arsenal fan myself, a day that Liverpool dropped a result, we dropped a result. City have the lead now. God, look, man, I want to go off on not too long, but the Arsenal fan base that I'm a part of. Because it's getting to a point where this is getting so fucking ridiculous, man. I think at the end of the day, it's amazing to me that we can't slip up once without this fan base just giving up on everything entirely. It's almost at the point where it's embarrassing, bro. Watching the game today, 2 goals go in a 10-minute span where, yes, we completely fall off mentally, whatever, right? We slip up. But I don't think that team has done anywhere near enough to earn or deserve playing in front of a half-empty stadium to close that game out. Makes no sense. It honestly makes this fan base look terrible. It makes us look like we're a bunch of fair weather fans who can only put up with this team when we're winning and not have their backs when they're losing. It doesn't make any sense to me. The timeline was the same narrative that we saw during the struggle years under Arteta, right? When he was trying to kind of rebuild this club from the ground up. Arteta out, right? When he was, I saw lineup excuses. I saw mental midget excuses, capitulation excuses. Like, bro, it is one game. This is the last time we lost was back in December. Can we relax? The title race is not over. There's so much left to be played for, bro. It doesn't make any sense to me. This fan base drives me crazier than any brand that this team has when it comes to this part of the season. Like, it just does. It's exhausting, bro. I can't deal with it anymore. I'm this close to like deleting X or Twitter from my phone. Like, I really can't, bro. This fan base is so overreactionary. Can we just calm down? This looks so bad for a fan base that's supposed to be on the brink of a title challenge. I don't know, bro. I'm so over how today went. I'm disappointed. Don't get me wrong. People are gonna say I'm okay with the result. Hell no, not okay with it. But I know that mistakes happen, slip-ups happen. If this had been City and not Villa, I don't even know if the reaction would necessarily be the same. I don't know, bro. But to me, we look like very emotional children on the timeline and in these stadiums when these boys need our support and our backing more than ever. So I don't know, man. That's my overreaction for this week. It's so easy. I think we need to calm the hell down.
Look, man, I mean, I would say I don't think I overreacted too badly. I think it was hats off to Aston Villa. I don't think I think obviously Unai Emery, the storylines were there, the revenge game was there, it was clear. Obviously also Emi Martinez just dry humping his way through. So I mean, like, it's always this team, Aston Villa are like low-key dogs. I just want to point that out. That team's got dogs in them. Led by Debu. And
we still could have won today, Hector. Keep in mind, bro, we still could have won. Like the first half, we put away even a couple of those opportunities, those number of opportunities that we had. We slowed way down the second half. I will totally concede that. That's fine. But bro, if we put those opportunities away, we're not even talking about how much credit we have to give to Villa, because they played extremely well, especially in the second half. But I think it was us again, kind of, if anybody remembers that festive period where we couldn't score to save our lives, it kind of felt like that a little bit. But it's we're going to have those games every now and then. I hate seeing us crumble like a fan base. It just gives everybody a ton more ammo when it comes to how they treat us. So
it's also the same time. It's the milieu. It's the milieu of Arsenal. Like, everybody. That's why Arsenal Fan TV is the only like popular fan, like Premier League fan YouTube channel. Like, there's no one gives a shit about Manchester United's YouTube channel or I don't even think Liverpool has one, and if they do, then clearly I have never heard of it.
It doesn't go that far. Let's just be honest. It doesn't go that far.
Yeah, like, it doesn't.
No one reacts like Arsenal fans do. It's just the never-ending cycle of depression that a lot of people have when they're an Arsenal fan. go through the motion. We're the Chicago Bears of let's be honest, we're the Chicago Bears of footy. Like, that's literally where we are. We have amazing history, and then now we're just everyone's laughable thing. But obviously, Arsenal's gotten better. This team is completely amazing. Obviously, there maybe a little missing pieces still left there, but we're down the wire. And I think that's also where the pressure comes is we're going into that home stretch of the season. Everybody's worried. I might have to give away a jersey. I don't know. I'm scared too. But at the same time, it's like just one mistake could cost everything in this final home stretch. But also, when you look at the other matches for Man City and Liverpool, they have some tough matchups coming their way as well. I'm not gonna lie, I might be supporting Tottenham at some point, which is crazy because I hate that team. But
facts.
But I need to watch them outside after that. I'm just gonna be honest.
Peter is just waiting for that moment. Like, he knew, he was like, man, Hector, I'm finally gonna get this asshole. So I get it. As an Arsenal fan, we go through the motions. It's a very emotional roller coaster. Liverpool on the other side, also in a emotional roller coaster of its own because this is the farewell tour for Jurgen Klopp. But yeah, it's like we're so close. That's the thing with Arsenal fans right now. It's just we're so closer than ever. We thought last year we were close, but this year it's even more closer. And we want it. That's really what it is at the end of it. We want the Premier League title. Some people would rather have the Premier League title than the Champions League trophy, which, I mean, I'd rather have both. But I mean,
but it's hard. I mean, I don't think we're good enough to win both this year, if we're being honest. Like, I just don't think we're good enough to win both. But we're not far, right? Which lets you it shows you the progression. What I'm saying is, like, Arsenal haters, and there's a lot of them out there, you're giving them exactly what they want by just like overreacting and acting like the world has just ended because we dropped a game. Like, does it hurt our title chances? Yes, I agree with that. But like, we don't know what's going to happen to City, especially if they get beyond Real Madrid. I know that hurts, Hector, but if they get beyond Real Madrid in the Champions League, bro, there's tougher games now that they have to deal with and maybe prioritize. I know Pep doesn't prioritize, right? But he might, you get to semifinal, whether it's against us or against Bayern, like, it's going to be a tough 2-leg tie he has to prepare for. There's just games on the horizon where we don't know what's going to happen. So why are we acting like everything is over? Why are we crowning City champions already? Just relax and wait. You'll notice how Liverpool doesn't have that brand, right? So when something like today happens, I didn't see any of that narrative out there, right? That they completely bottled the title. It's just a game that's dropped for them, and maybe they have the talent to get back up. Who knows? But we just can't let the whole season slip because of one bad result against Villa. I think it's a massive, massive overreaction.
I think it's just a Jurgen Klopp effect. I think there's just a vibe about Jurgen Klopp where you're just like, eh.
As a Liverpool fan, I can tell you it is very much that. It is very much the Klopp effect. I mean, I feel like this is a recency bias for Arsenal fans, right? Like, they don't remember the years between 2008 to 2016 where that team was just like, you're lucky if you finish in fourth. Like, I hate to say it that way, but that's what it feels like. Is like everybody forgets that it wasn't very long ago that Arsenal wasn't Arsenal. Like, we're not talking the undefeateds here. We're not talking that team with Thierry Henry. That's not what we're talking. We're not talking Sol Campbell. We're talking a team now that Mikel Arteta has everything going for him. And it's like, okay, you slipped once, you slipped twice. This is no different than Liverpool when Stevie G literally slipped on the ball in the last game of the year. It's just happened a little bit earlier. I mean, look, Man City still has Brighton to play. They still have the Wolves. They still have Tottenham to play. They still have West Ham to play. Then this season, like, there are plenty of chances for them to drop points. They don't have to drop all three. They could probably just get away with one. But yeah, I think it's just in general, like, I know for you guys as Arsenal fans, it's a little bit more, you're focusing on the Arsenal side. Liverpool, there was a lot of the rumblings as well. But the fact everybody wants to crown City, like, that's like the biggest overreaction for me right now is, yeah, two teams slipped. Yeah, Liverpool slipped worse. You don't slip against Crystal Palace in that situation, but slipping against Aston Villa is not the worst thing in the world to happen. Talking about a Champions League team probably at the end of this year.
Yep.
Like, it's just, yeah, it sucks for Arsenal fans because the good ones, you guys don't deserve this one. The other side of that, man, they just need to stop. Go back to supporting Tottenham in that toilet bowl stadium.
Yeah,
facts, bro. Big facts.
As we're speaking now, Warmburn decided to troll me on Twitter. So Also, I gotta find who the hell still has the Coldplay video because I need that to be deleted.
Yeah, I don't know who has that still.
They keep posting that stupid fucking video, man. It's really
it's every time, man. I will like miss a FA Cup game, and Liverpool's like playing their backups to their backups of their squad, like of their 18 and unders, and then they lose, and it's like, oh crap, okay. Then all of a sudden I see, how you feeling, Kelcey? And it's like, oh great, thanks Hector. Thanks.
That one was actually me, but
yeah, I know that one was. But you should have never posted it to begin with. That was the day one. Nothing ever dies on the internet.
It's that one, and then of course the iconic me lifting my leg up trying to get a ball that I had no right to try to get.
You mean the logo?
the Unhinged FC logo. But anyway, fuck. All right, Kelcey. Yeah, Kelcey. So what's your overreaction? I don't know.
I mean, I don't know if I have a different overreaction, really. Like I just said, like I feel like Jose has a really good reaction here. I would take it a little broader and just say in general, I hate how people are already crowning City. As I just said, there's 4 games here down the stretch. So you have 6 left. 4 are probably not going to be the easiest walk in the parks here. And as you mentioned, who knows who they're coming up against in the Champions League? I mean, if they
also don't forget FA Cup, Champions League, also still in the mix.
They have a chance for the treble there, but as we've seen, English Premier League teams don't exactly pull off a treble easily. It's not like we're talking about a German league team here. The FA Cup is no joke. Getting through that is especially at this stage is no joke. But getting through the Champions League, I mean, you have to. I feel like if you're Pep, that's what you're focused on. I know the Premier League would be nice, but on the opposite end of Arsenal fans is Man City fans who are like, okay, I want a Champions League trophy now. So I think that's what Pep's focused on, and which is why I think there's encouragement here for both Arsenal and Liverpool. I hate seeing it. I've always been frustrated with no matter the sport. The moment a team drops one down the stretch, it's like, dude, there's still 18 points left on the board here. Let's not kid ourselves. These teams are going to finish in the 90s as a champion. They're not going to finish, 100 points. This is whoever wins is going to end up in like 95, 92 or something like that. So yeah, let's not kid ourselves here. This is going to be one that's going to come down to the wire. Who knows? Maybe it's another slip on the ball by somebody in the midfield again that just decides it. But it's not with 7 games to go that this is decided.
Yeah, exactly.
And we'll see what happens too with I think if, like I said, if Arsenal even make it beyond Bayern and get to the Champions League semifinals, already off rip, this is the most successful season collectively that we've had in like a decade. So I know fans are like desperate and like really just saying F patience at this point. We need to win. It's hard. People forget where we were going into last season before that crazy one-off title charge kind of happened. We weren't anywhere close to it. We were overperforming for so much of it. So hindsight needs to be 2020. Like people need to look back and realize how we got here. But anyway, I can rant for this all day, I feel like.
Oh yeah, no, and there's pieces missing from both teams that are right now sitting in second and third. Like, let's not kid ourselves. The injury happens with White there, 50th minute, or what is it?
I completely forgot that Timber was a thing.
Yeah.
I forgot all about that guy.
Injuries happen; they come back. Like, anything's possible for this last 6 games. Let's all calm down a little bit.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So my overreaction is just Wrexhamania, bro. Like really, like just wow. They went from getting promoted from the Nations League, I think that's what it's called, or the National League. Who gives a shit? And now they're in League 2. Now
I only remember it because of baseball. That's the only reason I remember it.
And also now they're getting promoted into League 1. They secured it with a 6-0 victory, and yeah. It was just crazy to see, like, all the big media. Obviously, if it wasn't for the fact that Ryan Reynolds, everyone wants to give some credit to Rob McEnany. I'll give some credit to him, but let's be honest, everyone talks about Ryan Reynolds. That's the main name. It's not. It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. It's Deadpool.
He's the financial backer there.
But the most interesting story, like since this podcast has ever started, was the Wrexham story. This journey of this team being owned by 2 celebrities, and now there's so much money being thrown into this club now, which it's awesome. The tourism to this one place in Wales is just like the coolest thing ever, and they're bringing players. It was so just the whole everything, just the following for Wrexham is hilarious. Also, great name, I love the name Wrexham. But yeah, and then obviously they also have now the TV show that's on FX. It's just crazy, and now they're essentially playing EA Sports FC's career mode, doing a road to glory, and somehow finding a way to get automatically promoted in their first year in League Two. So, it's cool. It's awesome. Also, we should probably also highlight that congratulations to Bayer Leverkusen for securing the Bundesliga title first in their club's history. Xabi Alonso staying put for at least this year. Where is he going to go? Who knows after this, but he's got unfinished business over at Bayer Leverkusen.
Man, a lot of money can change hands between now and August. That's all I'm going to say.
Hey,
I smell a Madrid remontada.
As long as he doesn't say the lines, I love it here in Leverkusen.
There just happens to be an open seat in, the team that he got famous with.
There is true. That's true. We'll see what happens.
By the way, I'm super proud of you, Hector. EA Sports FC for that call out and not calling it FIFA like I still do.
I trained very hard to stop saying it. And also, it's very impressive to just keep saying EA Sports FC because it's not fun. It's not fun. Why can't they be X? Why can't they be XFC?
Because I'd still mess it up.
That sounds so cool, though, to say that. But anyways. But yeah, so props to Bayer Leverkusen. Also, congratulations to Wrexham. I don't think they won the league title. I just know they got automatically promoted. So I don't know if they necessarily won the league title by any means.
I think to get out of League Two, you have to finish first.
First and second automatically promoted, and then third down to 6. My math's bad. Third to 6.
Oh yeah, they're second.
Yeah, 3rd to 6, they have to play in that tournament. Which I'm not gonna lie though, it does seem kind of fun it sucks thinking we gotta play these extra games in order to go get promoted, but it's kind of fun because you get a trophy out of it and you play in freaking Wimbledon. So I mean, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
At least they know how to play their playoffs and not, do what the MLS does.
What, like a best of 3?
Yeah, I don't even know the home and home situation. I still don't. I can't. It's because it's not like a normal best of 3, like where you have home away home. It's like
that's exactly what it is.
Home and then away.
No, home away home.
It wasn't last year.
That's exactly what it was last year.
Really? Because I thought Cincinnati played at home twice in a row.
You probably were. You just probably weren't really paying attention.
I wasn't right. They said best of 3, and I'm like, I don't care anymore. Stop. I will pay attention when the final comes along.
All right. Well, speaking things that are finally getting corrected. Apparently, the Premier League will be introducing in the following season will be the semi-automated offside technology. If you guys are familiar with this phrase, it's because it was used in the 2022 FIFA World Cup, and I also believe it was used also in the Women's World Cup. Essentially, that was where we got the amazing meme of a guy being offside by an ass cheek. So, this is what this technology is capable of. Which the crazy thing is, if we had this technology from back in 2022, why are we now using it? That's my only gripe with this whole thing.
You want the hard answer?
If we have the technology, freaking Steve Austin, $1 Million Man, we have the technology, why are we not using it?
I feel like I don't know if this is a joke question or not, because I feel like the answer is so simple that everybody should figure it out. Because old heads run the game and they don't understand technology.
Or don't like change. That's what I was going to say, too.
I was saying that's the other part of it.
Yeah.
I mean, just look at any system. That's the same answer for all of it. But
if it ain't broke, don't fix it is probably how they run most of their lives in general. So, remember the whole idea where they were trying to introduce a blue card? I'm like, that shit ain't going through. I'm sorry, but as long as old heads run this game, nothing that ridiculous of an idea is ever going to be accepted. They'll keep things going the way they are until it absolutely breaks and folds on them, and then they'll figure out a new way.
I agree with that. The blue card was stupid, but I mean,
remember the green card they give out now that's for fair play? If you have a good moment of fair play in a game, you're awarded a green card in one of the leagues, and it's at the end of the season, those add bonus points to your totals.
Bro, if that was ever a thing, I would have laughed.
Harry Potter?
Yeah, I would have laughed it out of the room.
I think it was in the German second division. They were trying to test it out, and it was that was the There was no way that was ever going to pass.
No.
That's like the ending of the first Harry Potter, where Slytherin clearly won, and then all of a sudden, like
points.
Gryffindor just got like a bunch of points out of nowhere. I mean, sorry that Malfoy didn't fight off a freaking evil wizard or anything.
Well, then he should have. He should have, Hector.
I wish it was like Schalke or something presented the idea, because they're like, I'm tired of Bayern Munich winning. That's basically their answer to it. Is like, hey, we'll just give each other free points for good sportsmanship, so we can hopefully beat Bayern Munich.
Little like year-end participation trophies to get you over the line. I like that.
Hey, New Germany for you.
But yeah, so this technology, which is put in the ball. Also, I believe Amazon was using that similar technology for their NFL games, which also a lot of NFL fans were pissed off about that because technology. But Premier League basically what the Premier League said though is that they're going to introduce it, but not right away. So we might not even see it in the first coming matches. It might even happen. It actually will happen after the second international break is when they can finally. I don't know what that means. Like, what do you mean that you can't implement it till like why is it not ready when the season starts?
So it's not going to implement it until October? Is that right?
The first international break, I think.
The first international break. So
yeah, I mean, I don't know. Maybe they're waiting for like that big pause, because otherwise, if you don't do it then yeah, you do it to kick off the season, which I don't know what the problem would be. Who knows, bro? I mean, maybe just people wanting to time it out right. Again, old heads, man. You got to ask them directly.
Okay, so there's this one argument that I will say against the semi-automated technology is just that, like, when you take away the human element of officiating, I have nothing to complain. There's nothing for me to complain now. Like, I can't complain about the ref making a terrible call now. Like, that's my go-to excuse. You know, similar to baseball where they're trying to do the robotic umps. It's just like,
robot ref.
What am I going to argue with? I can't argue with a ball. I mean, maybe I could.
You know who you can argue with? Now you can actually put the blame where it belongs, on the players who just decide to, ship the game because they're tired.
That's a fair point.
Facts.
Now you can actually hold somebody accountable, because they can't be like, oh, the ref called me off 17 times and 6 of them are incorrect. Like, no, that's not the case anymore. Sorry, bud.
Yeah, or the opposite end, right? The defenders who are like just waiting to get bailed out by the assistant ref or whoever, right? To kind of make sure the same guys who just don't run back and track runners, they just kind of raise their hand and like, oh, that guy was offside, right? Yeah. Let that ref come save me. Yeah, you can't do that shit anymore.
Yeah, as a goalkeeper, that was like the bane of my existence. Is the moment of my defenders did that, I yelled at him all day, like for the rest of the game. I didn't care. He could do something right, and right after that, go score a goal. Don't care. I'm yelling at you still.
Yeah, it's lazy, bro. Lazy as hell.
I just can't wait for like what are like the dimensions of the distance of being offside? Like, like by an arm, by a hand, by a booty cheek. Like,
I think
where
it's
are we
majority,
going?
isn't it? Isn't it majority of your body?
Down to the torso? Wasn't it down to the torso or legs? Like,
yeah,
it could be legs or torso, but they don't include arms in it.
Yeah. I think this was, I don't know if this is true or not. I don't know if this is Wenger's rule or not, but I think it was. I think he proposed something like this a long time ago. Where it was like there needed to be some way to just verify that whether or not the majority of someone's body is offside or not. Because if it's not, if it's like a hand or part of an arm, it's like, why is that? Why are we being that fucking technical about it? Like, why are we?
How much of an advantage is a hand?
Yeah, how much is it, right? Especially if the hand didn't touch the defender at all. If they didn't like fucking push the guy out of the way to get the ball, then like what is that? It's not even a half second, right? That's like that's so fractional, bro. Yeah, I think that's what this is, but I could be wrong. Someone could fact check me on that.
Yeah, can we also get the whole, like, if he's running back onside and literally comes back onside after the ball's played and then runs and goes to get it? Can we just call that onside? Like, I don't need that to be offside anymore. The dude literally ran further than he would have if he was already onside. Like, I don't need to.
Bro. If he's got hella pace as a defender, I will take that offside call all day. Just saying. That's Mbappe coming back for the ball. I want that flag to go up.
That's fair, but I mean, nowadays defenders are almost just as fast.
True.
Alphonso Davies.
Very true.
Just not the pro referees.
Hey, now hold on. Peter Manikowski has that unlock.
I'll give you that one. One.
He at least got him paid. That's all I got to say. He at least got him paid. So congratulations, then.
True.
I guess this would be a great way to segue over to the MLS then. So Inter Miami got eliminated from the Triple C. It, Shocker. If anybody didn't see that happening, that they were going to lose to Monterrey 5-2.
I thought it was going to be closer, bro. I thought it was going to be closer.
Yeah, it was that game in Monterrey was rough. They really just put it out of reach. But now Tata Martino is taking a page out of Steve Cherundolo and blaming which I'm not disagreeing with it, because the roster needs to be flexible enough to handle all these competitions that they're trying to promote. Especially, I won't count Leagues Cup, because I mean that's literally the only thing that's being played during that time period. There's no other matches going on, so I don't really count that. But like, I guess maybe Open Cup might be also taken out the window, since MLS is just like, yeah, y'all don't have to play that. And so, okay, so it's just Triple C and MLS season. But I mean, you would still want to rotate the squad out. And I believe MLS made some changes to the roster that's supposed to be implemented by the summer. And like it's like, okay, I feel like there's some progress, but at the same time, I don't feel like there's any progress, if that makes any sense to it, because I think you have the option to use a 4th DP, or you can switch that 4th DP to be a U22 initiative. It's like my head burned. My head was like hurting, just trying to make the math.
Smoke coming out of the ears the whole time.
It was girls' math, but for
I can't think,
the
man.
Equivalent for soccer math than girls' math. Like, I don't know.
Like, y'all can't be making me think, bro. I was in the Marine Corps.
I don't know. And what's crazy is that's not even the least confusing of all the rules MLS has. So, take that for what you will, right? It's like there are a ton more rules that don't even make any sense. Like, I want to try and explain how GAM and TAM work to non-MLS fans. I think it's hilarious.
I still don't know what GAM and TAM is.
And how you can trade it. That's the other part. How you can trade it. That's the part that drives me up the wall. Also, I mean, just in general, getting a player from outside of the MLS into the MLS. Like,
yeah, bro.
It's not a free agency thing. People don't understand.
It's really weird. It's really weird.
But bro, having the rights to a player.
Oh yeah, territory rights and discovery rights. Yeah. But that's a whole thing too, by the way. We had to pay something like that. SC Dallas had to pay something like that to sign Musa, because technically the Revolution like saw him first or something. I was like, bro, what?
They put him on his list.
What is this? Like who cares who saw him first? Go sign him. Like I don't get it, bro. It's like we call dibs and you have to pay to like undibs that person. It's like what the fuck are we doing, bro? I don't know.
You write him on a list, you fax it into MLS headquarters.
as if like the Portuguese league never existed to anybody else.
Yeah, bro.
At a game, just like write everybody's name down, send it in. Everybody else has to pay you. That's it. It's a running list. That's all there is to it. I'm like, come on.
That's the scout's job. It's not even to find like good talents, to find decent talent. Just put them on the list. Nobody else can fucking claim them. That's how we're gonna make our money. I don't give a shit.
So what? Inter Miami discovered Messi?
I know, bro. I was like, what? Like, I don't know. This shit makes no sense. But hey, with this game though, can we just say, like, hold on? Isn't it not weird that Tata and Cherundolo seem to be the most vocal about this complaint, and they're the two most stacked fucking teams in MLS? Like, it's a weird complaint, bro. Like, especially Miami, they've been granted, I don't know how many different concessions from the league because of who they are. And they're still complaining about their team not being good enough, or not having a good enough roster to compete with Liga MX. I'm like, bro, maybe if you didn't try to play like you were Barcelona when you're in MLS, and you're forcing Drake Callender to pass it out of the back and do shit he probably never really did before. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe it's the tactics. Maybe it's Jordi Alba throwing a fit at 35 years old on the field and getting a red card. I don't know. There's a lot of other things you could pinpoint that were major issues for Inter Miami outside of MLS's rules and regulations for rosters. So I don't know. There's the better team won, and it wasn't because of roster issues, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I think we need to harken back to, Hector, the episode you and I did beginning of the season here, where we talked about this. So when they were talking about they had a chance to win a Quattro. Like, no, there's no chance in the MLS, given the rules, given the fact you have a salary cap, that's even possible if you have a guy like Messi, a guy like Suarez, a guy like Jordi Alba on your roster. Because what are you going to do after that? Like, you don't have enough financial backing if your manager or your GM or whoever's handling your player operations isn't smart enough with the money. Like, you have to play U20s. You have to play these developmental kids to even have a chance, and they don't do it. Like, yeah, that's part of my gripe from Tata back when he was back at Atlanta, when he first started. That team was great 12 deep, but then 13 beyond, good luck. And that's really what you see with Inter Miami is the same thing. It's maybe it's a European way of thinking when you come to the MLS, but it's not efficient. It's not going to ever work. And the irony that they crashed out of the Triple C with a red card in both games versus Monterrey, which I still can't get over. I think that's hilarious. But yeah, I mean,
especially when you're going up against Monterrey, you would think that's the team with the red cards.
Yeah, if you're going to complain about anything, complain about your own team's discipline. Like if you get 2 red cards in 2 games against the same team, there's a problem there. Because if you can't prepare them for whatever tactics you're about to face from Monterrey, like, well, really, you're going to complain now? Like, what do you expect?
I think they slept on Monterrey, bro. I think they really did. I think they got hit in the mouth, and then when they didn't have anything else, there was no build-up play, nothing was going in their favor. They do what I mean, frankly, bro, this felt like a fit that one of Mourinho's Real Madrid teams would have thrown back in the day, right? Yeah. Where things aren't going their way and fuck it, let's just hack the shit out of them. Let's find a way to make this game not about the soccer being played, but about something else. And you're gonna go down in flames. That's kind of what it felt like. Like it was so weird for that to be like a bunch of old 2015 Barca players that it was happening to. But bro, I agree wholeheartedly with what Kelcey just said. Like the problems run deeper than whether or not MLS is like willing to let these guys spend. You had the opportunity to spend and you brought in 4 aging players. Like how am I going to feel bad for you? Like how is that MLS's fault? It's like,
let's be clear.
You got options.
It is a part of it. Like there's no doubt about it. Like the roster issues with the MLS is always going to be a part of it, because I think we can all agree salary cap in today's day and age for the MLS is an idiot. It is idiocracy all over again. But you got to adapt to the rules. Like you can't just, you keep trying to bash your head against this wall about trying to get them to change, and they're not going to change on this yet, because this is what, as we just talked about, old heads running the game, Don Garber and crew, they're old heads. They're aging American sports ownership. That's what they are. And that is what American ownership is. Now, you said they got concessions. They borrowed a couple of rules from the NBA with some luxury tax, concessions there. But yeah, you got to learn to play the game. That's one thing David Beckham hasn't really learned for that Inter Miami squad yet, is how to play.
And even before Messi, it's been a problem his entire
time. Like, and there's something like, you look back at New York City FC, they struggled with this early on with Pirlo, Lampard, David Villa. This is the same thing. They learned, they adapted, and now they're one of the most dominant teams in the MLS. I expect the same from Inter Miami. Once they decide to stop being a retirement home, then you actually have an opportunity. But you're going to be paying guys, I mean, literally a third of almost half of your entire salary cap goes to 4 players. That can't happen. You can't do that and expect to win.
No, or at least not win everything. You pick one, right? Yeah. Like at the end of the day, like if you're going for MLS, cool, go for MLS. If you're going for Triple C, go for Triple C. But don't get mad at the rules or have that excuse in your back pocket when things don't go your way because of how your team was built. Like it's hard for me to feel bad.
Also, it tells me they don't understand how big the U.S. is and how big the travel is when it comes from traveling from Miami to Monterrey, or traveling from Miami to L.A., or traveling from Miami to Seattle, for goodness sake.
Or the traveling that they had to do this week. They went to Monterrey, and then they had to go to Kansas City and play in Arrowhead.
Yeah.
And that's not an easy fight either.
Yeah, keep in mind too, right? Like as much as they want to make this excuse about MLS this, MLS that, like the Sounders won Triple C without that excuse, right? Like a team that didn't have crazy superstars, right? They had a team that was just built under how the Sounders wanted to play, and it worked out well. And they beat a damn good, at the time, a damn good Pumas team to lift Triple C. So like I don't know, man. If there's already proof of another team doing it without being built around superstars, maybe that's the formula. Maybe we stop trying to make this team a marketing machine and maybe focus a little bit more about how the game is actually being played from that team. But I don't know, man. We'll see.
Also say, to that point, it's like every league in the world, right? They all have our own play styles. It's almost like Inter Miami doesn't want to do that. They don't want to adapt to the play style that is MLS. They don't want to adapt to the play style that is North America in general, which is a little bit more physical, a lot more speed based, and a lot more hit it and run after it sometimes. And that's just what it is. But you look at Spain, obviously they allow a lot of space on the ball. The English Premier League is a lot more hard-nosed. Germany, kind of a good combination of the two. Italy, who knows what you're going to find in Italy every other year. Yeah, I mean, you're lucky if you don't get choked out by Gattuso on the sidelines. So, I mean, that's the reality of it. But it really is like Tata is being told, whether it's for his own right, because he's a winner. Like, he is a winner in the MLS. So I don't know if it's because he's being told that in player operations side or what, from Beckham himself down. But it's almost like they're like, no, we have to play like they play in Spain. But that's not going to win in the MLS. That's not going to win versus a Mexican team. It's just not going to win, period. Like if you watch any games and any successful team, that's not how they win. That's also why they struggle when they go to the FIFA Club World Cups or when they do these preseason tournaments. Like you have to adapt to the play, but yeah, you should be able to learn all those other things. But if you don't adapt to the play, you're not going to win.
Yeah, exactly that. I mean, it's always interesting, like you mentioned, how LAFC also complained this very similar thing when they got eliminated from this. Well, maybe not this tournament, but obviously whatever CONCACAF's tournament was, and the same complaint is we don't have the roster space and the cap space needed to fit a roster for all these competitions. Which, I mean, there's multiple ways to make that salary cap work. You can be more academy based, like that's another way that you can make things on the cheaper end work for you. Go after hidden gem players. Like, I mean, kind of how you mentioned with Seattle, like some of the guys that became core important players of Seattle, most people had never heard of them. I mean, most people knew Raul Ruidiaz just because of his time in Liga MX, but I mean, I don't think many people knew these guys, and if they did, it's just because they're really committed to that league. So I think there's ways to build a really good roster. There's you don't have to spend money on players, but obviously, Inter Miami, it's got to be flashy and sexy and all that stuff that for that team to sell what it is. Because let's be honest, they were not having the ticket sales that they were having even when Gonzalo Higuain was here, and so.
Which is
and obviously, literally because of Messi. It's all because of Messi. I feel like you take Messi out of Miami, the seats would not be as packed as it is.
Agreed. Yeah. But be comfortable with that, right? If that's what you are aiming for, where you put asses in seats and, just do it by having the big names attached, then just realize what you are, bro. You're a marketing machine. You're not a championship caliber team. Like, you pick one. You can't have your cake and eat it too. So, like Miami fans, I think they should already be aware of that. If they're not, I mean, they're I think for a rude awakening as the season continues to go on.
Yeah, you can't be PSG.
Let's correct that. Miami/Messi fans.
Fair, bro. Fair. But I mean, like in some capacity, I mean, there's some Messi fans I think who want him to be like myself, who want him to be successful. Don't get me wrong. In any league, even that bullshit, League On, I can't stand PSG. Like they irk me more than most clubs in the world do, and I still, when he went to PSG, got a PSG kit, like with his name on it, because he's my man. But at the same time, like I realized that this age, man, like to have a team solely built around these aging superstars that may not even be available for every game, I just think what the risk is. Like, what it is. I mean, like to pretend that it's MLS's fault, it's just scapegoating the league, making the league look bad, when in reality, the team is not built for long sustainable success.
Yeah, it really is. That the reason I said PSG, it's literally them. Like they are American PSG right now.
Which could be a good or bad.
Just that it's not as easy. This league is not as easy to win.
Yeah. Like, sorry, you're trying to be PSG and it's not going to work.
Hey guys, this is Hector from the Insert Name FC podcast, here to tell you guys about Canada Dips. It is a great tasting, superior alternative to traditional dip, using CBD in a way that is radical, enjoyable, and effective. It comes in 5 core flavors: wintergreen, mint, citrus, mango, and American spice. Canada Dip CBD is the new evolution in dip, allowing guys to enjoy great, long-lasting taste without the downsides. If you guys want to go ahead and try them out, use the code BellyUp20 at CanadaDipCBD.com. Once again, BellyUp20 at CanadaDipCBD.com, and you'll get yourself 20% off your purchase. Thank you again for Canada Dips for being a great partner of BellyUpSports.
Facts.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so the last headline for this one, and I will say this is definitely a very controversial situation that has been going on with the U.S. Women's National Team, and it all involves one player specifically. Her name is Korbin Albert. She is, from what I've seen, from what I watched her play, a very promising 20-year-old midfielder. Currently plays with PSG. So maybe there's a reason why you should hate it there, Jose.
Yeah.
PSG women's team is just OP. I just want to point that out. But so is Barcelona. Barcelona women's team is also very much OP.
And like the men's side, PSG have, some former Barcelona players because, they're, instead of trying to create their own history, they're trying to buy it. But anyway, go ahead. Keep going.
Okay. Maybe that's Korbin Albert. But anyway, so she is a very high potential player. Before all this happened, looked to be like the future for the U.S. women's national team, especially in that midfield. And was very much like a surefire selection for the Olympic team that's coming on this year, which, God, there's going to be so much soccer this summer. I was hoping to have a vacation. So that's
what is vacation?
I don't even know what it is anymore.
No such thing.
More like watching more soccer.
Facts.
So what did she do that's controversial? Somehow it got leaked out. Someone saw her social media, like her history, and they saw that she liked a lot of posts that were considered anti-LGBTQ plus, which obviously is the irony is not far from me on this one. Obviously, because we understand women's sports. There's definitely a good percentage in women's sports that would be very much pro LGBTQ. And obviously in that locker room is also a very accurate depiction, I would say, of the fan base of U.S. women's national team as well. But I feel like that's not necessarily the worst thing. I mean, it's bad. Don't get me wrong. But I think the worst part was when it was discovered that she liked a post that made fun of Megan Rapinoe's injury, which, if you guys remember, Megan Rapinoe's final game as a professional player, which was the NWSL Cup final last year, she got injured early on in the game, so she had to be pulled away and unfortunately did not play her final match and lost the final. So for them to make fun of it, also the post was in bad taste. I believe it was something like God did his work or something like that, which I'm not going to touch that with a 10-foot pole, but I'm just going to say that's what it was said. Also, more irony to add on to it. Korbin Albert currently wears number 15 for the U.S. women's national team. So, like I said, the irony is all there. But obviously, she playing in the She Believes Cup, which the USA did win the whole thing. Every time she got on, which she did play, I mean, like I said, she's a very good player. She got booed on by the U.S. fans. And I get it. So obviously this is a conundrum, right? This is a locker room issue. And the thing is with when you talk about national teams, you don't have to call a player up, especially if it's considered a locker room issue. Is there any way that she can come back from this?
Yeah. So first of all, let me start with the number issue because that's the easiest one to tackle right here. Yes, she wore 15 in the She Believes Cup. Does anybody know how numbers are assigned? That's right. They are just assigned. You don't just pick them in tournaments like that. You're assigned 1 through 24. Usually young players don't get a choice. That's just what it is. Given her position, given where she falls in the lineup, I don't think there's much to say about that one other than I don't think she really had a choice because she doesn't wear 15 in her club team. Let's be clear. So it's not like she's doing this to slide anybody. So I just want to get the easy one out of the way because the rest of these are pretty difficult. So to start with, this isn't the first time this has happened for the U.S. First time this has happened for the U.S. women's national team. Back in 2019, Jaylene Hinkle was refusing to wear the Pride numbers. So she didn't get called up. And when is the last time you've heard of Jaylene Hinkle until just now? Exactly. So none of us have heard from her since then. So it is something, if you're not careful, will get you in trouble. And it obviously is a hot button issue in America. There's no doubt about that. There's a lot of political side to that, and I don't want to touch it with a 10-foot pole like Hector said. But, I've been an athlete my entire life, and I will tell you, I've coached athletes, and I've always had one philosophy, and that's whatever you believe doesn't matter when you're stepping foot on the field. And that's because what you should believe in when you're on the field is your teammates. And that's all that you need to do. I didn't always believe the same thing as my teammates. It's just what it is. But being able to separate that from being my teammates, I still loved my teammates. They were still my friends. It didn't change anything. And if you can't do that as an athlete, as a professional athlete getting paid, why are you trying to be a professional athlete? There's the whole side of this that, like, why are people tackling in people's social medias like so in depth? Why are you looking through somebody's likes on X? That's a question I have. Like, who's wasting all this time to go dig around in somebody's likes? But I'll also say, don't do it. Like, you're a professional athlete, you're a public figure. Don't do it. There are services out there you can pay for as a athlete that are very affordable. College athletes did it before the NIL. You can do it yourself on your not so meager international club team salary. And yeah, I think there's a lot of parts of this, but I'll say, like, yes, she can come back from it, but it's not going to be a simple road. She took the first step, she apologized, but that's not it. You got a lot to go before the end of this. And a lot of that's going to be, if starting and ending with Megan Rapinoe, you get her on your side, you get Ali Krieger on her side, you can have a conversation because those two are the leader in that locker rooms, even though they might not be in the locker room every time. They have influence on all these players still in the locker room. And if you can apologize and make them understand your point of view, I see there's an opportunity there. But until then, I don't know if it's an issue we can even go down the road until she actually, directly talks to them about it, because this has Jalen Hinkle written all over it.
Yeah, I would agree with what Kelcey said. I think it's like one of those, the U.S. Soccer Federation is probably one, if you had to pick up a political one, is probably one of the more political ones out there, right? Where they're not just looking for, even when you think about something like a manager, a leader of a team, they don't look for just a manager who can lead that specific team. It's going to be someone who's a good example for the rest of the pipeline, the system, right? The federation itself, someone that, kids and teams of all ages can kind of look up to. It's the same thing with the players. So can she come back from this? I agree with Kelcey. Yes, it's possible. How much work is she going to put into that? I don't know. I don't know how much really it means to her to be maybe a part of this team. I do also agree with the point Kelcey made, in the sense that, like, there's plenty of shit you and your teammates can just not agree on. Like, just factually speaking, right? There's plenty of stuff that you and your work colleagues probably don't even agree on, right? And everybody on a day-to-day basis, it happens, but you put your heads together, you put that aside, and you get the shit done because it needs to get done, right? Your livelihood depends on it. National teams are a little bit different, but the same level of respect can still be there. Mm-hmm. I think, she has to realize that, right? That, like, you can respect your teammates for who they are as people, regardless of, again, what their sexual orientation is, like who they support politically, anything else in between. Like, I don't want to get to all of that. But I think equally, she's an adult. She knows that things on social media are visible. I think the fact that collegiate athletes, student athletes, are held accountable for what they do on the timeline. There are kids every day that lose scholarships because of stupid shit they've said on Twitter or on Instagram or anything else. This is, to me, one of those scenarios. It doesn't have to go that far. She doesn't have to be shunned from the team forever. But I think if she wants to have a realistic shot at being impactful for this national team when she does get called up, if she does get called up, she's got to be willing to put her biases aside, whatever it may be, and make a real effort to show that there's a strong layer of respect, regardless of how she feels about whatever off the pitch, right? Like, there's a layer of respect that you have for those people as human beings, and that has to be the path that she goes. But if it doesn't, if they don't, if she can't come back from this, then, like Kelcey said, it's another tale. It's another statistic, another example we can point to where it's like, hey, there are real consequences to what you do and say on the internet.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think talking about that, the last time that this kind of happened back in 2019, obviously her argument was that it was a conflict of her faith, which also I don't want this to be like, oh, you have to comply with everything that's going on. Like, obviously, I feel like you can have your views, you can have your perspective, but at the end of the day, it's coexistence is the key phrase for all of it. Being someone that, I served 5 years in the Marine Corps, where I didn't have a say of who I'm working with. Like, and I'm working with guys that, because they're just assigned to work with us. So we're not, you don't pick who you work with, and you get people from different perspectives of life, different upbringings, different regions across the country. And so, everyone's different. And I remember the constant phrase we were always told, and even I said it at one point when I was put in sort of a leadership position, was y'all don't have to like each other, but y'all better work together. Has always been the phrase that we've always went by. And I think it's similar in sports. I mean, you're going to play with people from different aspects, different perspectives, different viewpoints, and you got to work as one to get to the objective, which is winning titles, winning trophies, being the pinnacle of whatever sport you play in. And I mean, at the end of the day, you got to coexist with that person. And I think I'm not saying, you have to conflict with your faith or anything like that, but I do believe that there is a lot of verses in the Bible, and I'm not going to try to quote that because I'm not that good of a Christian, that coexistence is definitely a lot of verses do have that theme. So I think that it's very clear that for her, I think that this is a learning point. One, that where you are, especially where she's at now in her position as a PSG player, everything you like, everything you share will hold you accountable. And so, also probably a good lesson to learn for any future athlete to truly be careful because social media, people will find things. It's just, I don't know how many times in the NFL draft do we see a player, hey, he posted this on Twitter 5 years ago. So we see, this is like an ongoing thing. But the problem obviously is that the scenario, the situation that you're in a team that there's more than likely someone that is a supporter or is a member of the LGBTQ community. And obviously this makes you look like a hypocrite in some sense.
Yeah. The whole jersey thing, I just want to start with that, like Jalen Hinkle thing. There's clashes in your faith, and then there's wearing a jersey with a color on it. And I'm sorry, that's what I love. Maybe I don't care about what my number looks like. Does that make sense? I don't care what the jersey is. I care that there's a badge on that chest that means something. And at this point, we're talking about the U.S. national team. That badge represents what you grew up loving your entire life. I look at Harvey Elliott, who just did this with the England kit, where he flipped up his collar to hide the woke logo, where they took it wasn't, by the way, wasn't even the actual flag. It was just the cross in a rainbow color, which could be any cross. It's just two lines that intersect. That's all it is. We're not talking any crazy design. It's not actually a flag. And just, I don't know, it's disrespectful to your teammates who do belong in that community. It's disrespectful to the fans that support you, that got you to where you are when you do that. And so that's why I've never looked at it like it's a prop. Like, when people don't want to wear that, why? Why? You fought your entire life to do this. Why are you going to turn it down because of a color? How is that okay for anybody? That shouldn't be, and then try to make it a bigger issue than it is. Like, stop. This is your own personal issue you have to deal with. You don't have to share it with everybody. Just, it's your own personal battle. That's all there is to it. You don't have to make that public. And I hate seeing that excuse for a lot of players, especially when they try to be anti-woke, if you will. I hate to use that phrase because it feels really political to say it. Because I don't care. Like, I don't know any athlete I ever played with that cared. Especially growing up in the generation I did. We went from wearing black boots only, and only the good player on the team wearing colorful boots, to every player in the world wearing every color of boot out there, and the best player in the world going back to a basic boot. Like, if your shoes don't matter the color of, why does the jersey having a little bit of color on it make a big deal? I'll never understand that. Maybe that's just me. I know this is off of the Korbin Albert thing, but that's just, anyways. And then for Korbin Albert, she's in PSG. What are you doing at the club level? Because I just counted the number of players on that roster that are very open about their relationships, and the starting 11 has 6. So what are you doing at the club level here? Like, why are you making a big deal for the international level, which is the best international team in the world, but you're not making a big deal out of it on your club level? I'll never understand. You can't have them both. You can't have, if you're going to be this way, you got to be this way in both situations.
I mean, I think at the end of the day, what happened here is that she got caught. Yeah. Obviously, if she had never got caught, we wouldn't be talking about this. She wouldn't get booed. All of this would just be, I guess, I don't know if there was and obviously we're talking about a 20-year-old, We got to remember that in some cases, I'm not trying to use that as a defense, but
You're right.
They don't really realize what essentially they're liking or what they're sharing. They
the
just
consequences of it. Yeah.
They're not thinking about it. They just do it. And I think that for her, and I'm like, I kind of want to use her age a little bit as a defense argument, just because of the fact that like there's still time to grow. Like she is still 20 years old. Like, I mean, no one knows who they're going to be at 20 years old. And obviously she's still under the, not saying use, like she's still going off of what she was brought up by. Because I mean, I believe there's actually a very cringy post that her family her family's in, where they said their pronouns are USA, which I'm not gonna lie to you. I probably would have done that for 4th of July, but obviously I also know that would be super offensive.
I was gonna say that's the most Texas thing I've heard in a while, actually. But yeah, bro, I don't know, man. That's either way though. Like I said, I think if just reinforcing what you guys have both already said, I think if you focus on tolerance and coexistence, like kind of what Kelcey said, when I was an athlete competed, bro, honestly, I could care less like what you did on the weekend when you weren't here, like who you talked to. None of that shit matters to me. As long as you're as locked in as I am to go to war on the field and win, I don't care. You could be into literally anything. It's not going to freak me out, bro. I don't give a shit. I just want to win. I want someone on the field who wants to win as badly as I do. That's literally what the mentality should be anyway. But I do see what Hector's saying. Like sometimes they just like shit. And equally, there are people, like Kelcey's already alluded to, that are cringy enough to go sift through every tweet that somebody has liked. Garnacho came up this past weekend after he got singled out by Ten Hag a little bit in the press conference. Like someone went and found like a bunch of Mark Goldbridge tweets that he liked. I'm like, who's doing this? Like, who's got time to sit down and just start sifting through tweets that somebody's liked? But it's the age of the internet that we live in. And I think that, as long as that's a possibility, just be more aware of what you're doing on the internet. That's it. You don't have to be public about everything. You don't have to like everything. It's not going to be a missed opportunity if you just let it go by you as you scroll. You don't have to be that public facing about your beliefs if the goal is, again, to be on a national team and win games.
Yeah, as much as I want to put it on her age, I got to be honest. She's grown up her whole life with social media.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas the older generation, our generation, for the most part, we were put into the social media generation. We were there from the day it was founded. We didn't know that "How are you feeling today?" posts were going to come back and haunt us 7 years later. So we had to go back and delete all these things when we're getting into the job force. We're doing this. These guys have most of these kids nowadays are all PC ready or should be trained PC ready if they're going an athlete route. And like I said, there's services that they have out there that literally do this. They will scrub your social media and then not let you on your social media to do stupid things. Like they'll provide you guidelines. Like how that hasn't become a thing regularly that every athlete that's on social media does yet, I don't know. But I mean, hey, if you need help with that, give me a call. But like, I don't get it. I don't get. Yes, youth might have a little bit like naivety might have a little bit to do with it. But yeah, like you just said, Jose, you don't have to talk. You don't have to like everything. Like it's not necessary to, man, I would love to like that really hot chick on social media. But you know what I don't do? I don't hit the like button on that really hot chick on social media because that'll get me in trouble somehow.
Facts, bro. Or like people like just even today, right? I don't. Do I want to go argue with every person in the comments who thinks my opinion's stupid on the internet? Yes, bro. I want to go show them how they're wrong, how they don't know what they're talking about, how I know ball and they don't. But where do I land? I land in the exact same place that I am right now with just wasted time in between. Like, that's it. I'm not going to change their mind. They believe what they believe and I believe what I believe. Like, there's no value in trying to, I don't know, shove your opinion down everybody's throat, whether it's aggressively through an actual post or by just making everything that you believe visible by liking and sharing and doing whatever you do. So yeah, man, we could probably go in on this all day, but like I think by now she has to know what she did wrong and how to make it right. Now it's just a matter of whether or not she's willing to do that.
Yeah. Good luck.
Yeah, very much good luck. Hopefully she learns from this. That's all I gotta say. Man, I just got some breaking news from about the Houston Dash. Maria Sanchez wants to get traded. 4 months after signing her massive deal, she wants out of Houston.
Didn't they just win? They just won yesterday, right? Was it yesterday or today?
Yeah, it was their 10th anniversary match.
Yeah, it was a big match. I was like, well, happy anniversary, Hector.
That's great.
Well,
It was
not the worst thing that's happened to Houston teams lately, but it's pretty close.
It's pretty close.
I mean, at least there's CJ Stroud. But that's just one. I mean, so man. But all right. Yeah, I think that's a good way to end this thing. All right. Jose, Kelcey, thank you for coming on. Obviously, Jose, this is your time. Go ahead, and if there's anything you want to promote for Golz TV.
No, man. Like I always do, just go watch Insert Name FC on Golz TV. Go check it out. I'm on as many episodes as Hector will let me be on. I might be at quota soon, who knows? But yeah, I think just go watch the show, go tune in. If you care enough about what we're trying to build at Golz TV to provide me some feedback and make it better, my DMs are always open at It's Bromigo. You can literally ping me at any time, and I'll probably listen to you and have a conversation. So, no, outside of that, go check out Insert Name FC.
All right, thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much to Jose and Kelcey. Obviously, Kelcey is not done. You will see him in the 5-a-side draft. So, but once again, check out Golz TV, GOLZ.TV. Check out their social media, man. Lots of great stuff that's going over there on Golz. And of course, check out Highland Sports, but you're not going to see the last of Kelcey. Players of the Week, man. Players of the Week is brought to you by SeatGeek. SeatGeek is an amazing app or ticketing site, depending on how you use it. It is a very simple system that they use over there at SeatGeek. It is color-based. If it's green, that means it's a great deal. Go ahead and buy those tickets. If it's red, that means look elsewhere. You're going to find something better for sporting events, theater, comedy shows, music, sporting events. All that is all there at SeatGeek. So if you guys think that that's already pretty sweet, well, I'm going to make this even sweeter. For your first purchase at SeatGeek.com, use code BellyUpSports. It'll take off $20 on your first purchase. So once again, SeatGeek, thank you so much for being the presenting partner of Players of the Week. For Edwards Player of the Week is João Felix, who scores the winning goal in Barcelona's 1-0 victory against Cadiz. As Edward quoted, it was a banger. So that's why he is featured for this one. And my Player of the Week is Antoine Griezmann, who scored 2 goals in Atletico Madrid's 3-1 victory over Girona. Atletico Madrid looking pretty solid. Obviously trying to get into a European position over here in the table. All right. So congratulations to João Felix and Antoine Griezmann for being our Players of the Week. Make sure you guys check out the social media platforms, X, Instagram, at InsertNameFC, and you'll see the post. You can actually, there's a link on the post that has every single winner of Players of the Week from each time, and you can actually give them an extra vote, and it will be counted towards their tally for the Roosevelt Spencer's Player of the Year award. So if you guys want a say on who becomes the Roosevelt Spencer's Player of the Year award, go ahead and check out that link. It'll definitely get you help improve your favorite player's chances of being our Player of the Year. But games to watch this weekend, man. So going to the MLS, we got Inter Miami taking on Nashville SC. Some people are like, why this matchup? For some reason, this game, I'm feeling like there's a little rivalry now with Inter Miami and Nashville, so that's why I want to highlight that. Most of the time, their matches do turn out to be very enjoyable, so check that one out. Houston Dynamo taking on Austin FC. Yeah, so we'll see how that goes, man. Definitely pulling for our boys. They had a great road win. And also, it's the return of Hector Herrera on 420. So, hey. In Liga MX, we got Tigres versus Necaxa and Chivas taking on Querétaro. In Ligue 1, Brest versus AS Monaco and PSG versus Lyon. I mean, at this rate, Lyon is probably more than likely not getting relegated, but a man could believe, right? In the Bundesliga, we got Eintracht Frankfurt taking on Augsburg and Borussia Dortmund taking on Bayer Leverkusen. Congratulations once again to Bayer Leverkusen for winning the Bundesliga, secured the Bundesliga. Now all that's left is trying to finish the season out and have a perfect season. So we'll see if they can maintain that keep that 0 on their losing side. In the Serie A, we got Genoa taking on Lazio. and Monza taking on Atalanta. In La Liga, we got Valencia taking on Real Betis and Real Madrid versus Barcelona, El Clásico. Obviously, another thing that's also coming into play is singing bet. So me versus Edward. Obviously, Edward currently at the bottom. This is a good chance for him to jump over me, where I'm sitting at second. So this is a battle to see who's going to be in that last place spot on the table. In the Premier League, we got 2 FA Cup semifinal matchups coming up, which is Manchester City versus Chelsea and Coventry City versus Manchester United. Will we see a Manchester derby for the FA Cup final? Or will we see Chelsea and Manchester United? Or do we see Coventry City become the Cinderella story of the year? Which is really hard to say right now because there's been a ton of Cinderella stories this year. So we'll see if there's even more to come. But those are not all the matches. But if you guys want a good beginner's guide, I think I gave you guys some really good matches to look forward to this coming weekend. So we're going to go ahead and take one more break, and then we'll go right into our 5-a-side draft with Jared, Klim, and Matt Odrazzo from the Korner Booth Podcast, and, of course, Kelcey Coyne of High Low Sports. So enjoy.
Are you ready to elevate your sports betting experience? Look no further than DraftKings Sportsbook. Why choose DraftKings Sportsbook? Unmatched variety. Bet on your favorite sports leagues or discover new ones to follow. Live betting. Test your instincts and feel the adrenaline as you bet in real time while the game unfolds. Promotions and boosted odds. DraftKings keeps the excitement going with a range of promotions, odds boosts, and special offers. And a user-friendly interface. Whether you're a seasoned bettor or new to the game, DraftKings' intuitive platform makes placing bets a breeze. Ready to dive in? BellyUpSports has partnered with DraftKings Sportsbook to give you an exclusive offer. Sign up at dkng.co/BellyUp150 and new customers will get $200 in bonus bets instantly when they bet $5 or more. Don't miss out on this opportunity to take your love for sports to the next level. Sign up today and let the games begin. Please gamble responsibly. 21 years or older. Eligibility restrictions apply. See website for details.
All right, guys, we're actually going to have a bigger draft than we normally do. We got the guys from the Korner Booth Podcast, Jared and Matt, who's making his Insert Name FC debut. So excited for him to be on here. And, of course, we got the super sub, Kelcey Coyne from High Low Sports, and just a whole other bunch of crap. So welcome, guys, man. I'm excited that you guys are part of this draft for today.
I'm excited to be here. You always are a regular guest for us, and once you put that out, I was like, we got to return a favor for Hector.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, I'm always happy to be here. You know that, Hector. So getting to do it with these two good ones is even better.
Kelcey pretty much lives here.
Oh, yeah.
But all right, guys. So the draft topic for this one is going to be people that make blank their personality. So we all know that type of person that this one specific thing is how they define their entire personality. It's gonna be interesting how we go through this draft. I don't know if you're gonna pick cool people or for my route, it's gonna be people that I find annoying. But it should be a really fun draft. And since this is Matt's first time on Insert Name FC and Jared's already been here and Kelcey's been here a lot of times, Matt, you can create the draft order however you want. It is a snake order draft, so use that information with what you may.
All right. Well, with the first overall pick in the 2024 Insert Name FC draft, the Sacramento Kelceys are going to pick round 1, pick 1, followed by the Philadelphia Jareds, the New York Matts, and the Houston Hectors.
Dang! All right, I appreciate that. Giving me the last pick. So it's a snake order draft, so that benefits me. So I love it. I would have not done that, but cool.
It's all about chaos on a Sunday morning at 11 a.m.
That is true.
The Bears right now.
All right, Kelcey, you got the number 1 pick.
Yeah, this is tough. I wanted to come off and start with a bang, so I guess I'm just gonna light a fire under this one. I'm gonna say, being a Man United fan, so Manchester United fans, whether they actually been there or not, they are one of the worst fan bases I've ever met in all of my life. So and they make it their entire personality. It's frustrating.
Yeah, Manchester United. If you guys want to, for you and for Jared and Matt to understand it, they're essentially Dallas Cowboys fans.
Worse.
Oh no, we know. I know. I don't know, Matt. I know.
So much worse than Cowboys fans.
living off the glory years. But all right. So strong pick. Way to make it soccer related. Jared, you got free range.
Give me Star Wars purist fans as my number 2 pick. I'm talking about the ones who like bully like actors off of social media, who are like hell bent that only George Lucas can direct the movies, and the ones that are so vile that they've gotten like actors and other like screen people to quit doing this genre of the industry altogether. So give me like the Star Wars like diehard purists. Those are the ones, like the ones who make it like their entire life's work to ruin people's lives.
Essentially, the Manchester United fans of
Oh no, I was going
cinema.
more like live in their mom's basement and live on those freaking try to create troll accounts, but that works too.
No, you were accurate. Same thing.
It's equivalent. It's very equivalent adjacent.
Fair enough.
I think I'm gonna attack my own fan base and say the New York Yankee fans, because they are just those fans where it's like, no, the team doesn't have 27 championships and all these postseason appearances. We have it. It's ours. And then you try and come at them for, like, I'll be honest, I mean, I can be the same way, but you try and come at them for, oh, we haven't done anything in 15 years, and then they throw the rings in your face. And they are just a very pompous, arrogant, like forcefully show me some respect type of fan base when it's like, dude, you haven't earned anything in 15 years. So I'm taking the Yankees with this one, just the absolute, just the New England Patriots of baseball.
I gotta say, man, the best Yankees fans, which I mean, in the definition of Matt's, are the ones that aren't even from New York. I think those are like the very hysterical ones to me. There's like a lot of them here in Texas, and I was like, have you ever been to New York? Nah, New York sucks. I was like, what are we doing here? What are we doing? So very good.
It's like me claiming Philadelphia is a great city without even going there. I mean, I've been there like 5 times, so it's like I can claim like going to see games there, but
you're at least you're nearby. You're closer to New York.
Yeah, I'm 3 hours. I'm 3 hours away. I'm closer to Philadelphia than you are to Dallas, there, Hector. So
yeah, so exactly. So that's also, I mean, most people that are like not from New York that are Yankees fans, they're usually the ones that happen to be Dallas Cowboys fans and LA Lakers fans. So it's a fun
Duke Blue Devil fans, brother,
and Duke Blue Devil fans. So a very fun group of people. Very fun in parties, I bet. But that's a good pick too. All right, my first pick, and these people annoy me within all reason, and that is Jeep people.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, I have to ask this question because it's worth asking specifics here. We just talking Jeep Wrangler people or Jeep in general?
I mean the Jeep Wrangler people specifically. I mean, let's face it, they're the ones like having to do. Oh, look at here's this picture of my Jeep. Here, look at this ladder I added onto my Jeep. For what reason? I have no idea.
Yeah, you drive by another Jeep Wrangler and you're like, oh fuck them, they didn't wave. The Jeep wave.
Like...
The Jeep wave. I'm like, oh my god.
That is the wave in the entire South. I don't know where it became a Jeep wave, but it's been the wave I've done since I was young.
It's something in New
wave at everybody.
Yeah, I wave at everybody when I drive past them. I literally
just like this
every time. No, I just lift my finger up every time.
I don't know why I just thought of that Donald Duck Nazi clip. But yeah, Jeep people, they're just annoying. And then the worst part is like, would I ever see myself owning a Jeep? No. But if I did, it would be probably if I lived by the beach. Like the only reason why I would have a Jeep is just so I can use it for its actual purpose, which is to be used off road. It's even worse for people that live in the city and drive a Jeep, because it's like having a horse and not like, not using the purpose for the horse. It's just sad. It's just sad.
Just to pet the horse, not to ride the horse.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So it goes back to me with the second pick, and I'm surprised that no one picked this, but Disney people.
My second pick.
Well, that would be like my second turnaround pick. I wouldn't like go right after it.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, you want to talk about some of the, like, for me, if I were to go to Disney World, it's only because if I had kids. Like, I'm going to Disney World for my kids. I'm me personally by myself or with another adult. I just think it's weird. Like, because it's not necessarily, I mean, nostalgia for us, I guess, but like at the same time, like, I don't want to go to Disney World. Like I'd rather go to Universal Studios. So, like something cool.
As a person who recently went to Disney World in the last 12 months, I will tell you that it is still fun to go as an adult if you know what you're doing. It's not fun to ride the rides as an adult. Forget that. I don't care about that. I'm there to do the drinking that's unique, to do the food stuff that's unique, to do that. That was what I went to Disney for. But yeah, I agree. Disney adults are frustrating.
Insufferable.
Exactly. All right, back to you, Matt.
I think I'm gonna have to go with, especially after this year, I'm gonna have to go with the Swifties because they are just besides the football aspect. I mean, I don't know if any of you guys have ever seen the TV show called Swarm. It's on like Prime. It's about like the queen bees. Like it's just pretty much a show based off of people that were obsessed with Beyonce. And like this is the like how they would kill anybody that says that Beyonce sucks in the sense. It's not Beyonce, it's a different singer of the show. It's fake. But that's like how Swifties are. Like I feel like Swifties will come at you if you say, I don't like Taylor Swift, I'm just not into it. And they would be like, do you even know music? Do you know pop? Like what do you like? What is the garbage that I'm like, I'm fucking sorry that I don't like to hear like I'm feeling 22 in the morning or whatever. But especially with the NFL now that they invaded the stadiums and they all just care about seeing her on TV. So now I just feel like Swifties is just that one fan base now that it's just like the annoying little child that you have to take everywhere with you.
Yeah, the Swifties also came on. Well, it got crazy because I believe Taylor Swift was at the Inter Miami game when they were playing in Arrowhead. So I didn't watch that game, but I'm sure that if the Taylor Swift was there, I'm sure there was some zoom ins on Taylor Swift.
I'll say Matt's going. I thought I was going bold with my United take. Matt's going right after the Swifties here.
But all right, Jarrett, your second pick.
Give me music hipsters.
Music hipsters.
Okay, you're gonna have to explain.
You're gonna have to specify it a little bit.
Okay, the vinyl loving. I heard this before anybody else. I was big with them back when they started. Like LeBron with Migos, even though he's completely wrong. The guys who said, "Oh, I've been listening to them way before they got big."
Okay.
Like the ones who listen to vinyl only. The ones who are like critiquing of anything that's mainstream now.
So the gatekeepers.
All right, music gatekeeping. Yes. Okay, so that's a
better wording. Thank you, Kelcey.
No problem.
All right,
I just had to question that because that's like hipsters is a unique term for that one. But
all right, Kelcey, back-to-back picks here for you.
All right, first one up. I'm gonna go with anybody who's gluten free. I swear to God, they make it there.
Medically or non-medically?
Non-medically, just they choose to do it. It's all they talk about. Sometimes it's medically, but I don't give them as much crap. But it's the other ones. It's just like it's all they talk about. It's everything. It's like, hey, did you see the weather outside? Yeah, but I'm gluten free, so I can't really go into pollen right now. I'm like, what? Yeah, these are the gluten free people I'm talking about. Like,
the worst part is when they have to ask, like, is there anything that's gluten free when it's literally labeled on the fucking menu?
Yeah.
Yeah. I had a work party years and years ago, and they were asking everybody if they had any food allergies before the food was brought out. And one of them said, "Oh, I just have a gluten allergy." And they're like, "Oh, okay. Well, I'm not really sure if there's going to be a lot you can eat here." And she was like, "Well, it's not like I'm not really allergic. It's by choice." I was like, "Did you just say you're allergic to something by choice? You just mean you don't eat it." And she ate it all. So yeah, just wild there.
I mean, this girl I dated at one point was like that, where she was like, "Oh, I'm gluten free by choice." I'm like, "Why?" She goes, "I heard it's healthy for you." I'm like, "From who? YouTube, Twitter?" Like,
I will tell you, I did have to do it for doctor's reasons, and I'll tell you, it is easy to do if you're doing it medically. Like, if you don't have to worry about cross contamination, it's a fine thing. Obviously, medical reasons aside, like if you're just doing it out of choice, stop, get out of here. I don't want to hear your crap. Like it's easy, but it's not fun. Like there's no fun about being gluten free.
Gluten free pasta slaps though.
Sometimes.
That's what it's
makes you feel better.
It does. It makes you feel. It's like, yo, check that box off my life.
Now I can get away with doing this.
Yeah. All right. So my second pick here. So last one was gluten free. This one. All right, I'm gonna do it. The high school athlete, the guy that was good in high school, that's no longer a thing that has to bring it up at every single possible moment.
That just made me think of the Shane Gillis skit on SNL. The Forrest Gump.
Oh, mine is thinking about the Trevor Wallace guy who is literally at the football field and stuff.
It's like the ones that they're like 38 and they still wear their Letterman jackets to football games.
And go to the high school parties.
That's why I don't talk about anything that I used to do sports wise if I can avoid it. And Jared brings it up every time I come on the show.
It's just essentially just saying I peaked in high school.
Yeah. Well, it's not every day you get a guest on the show that pancake Nick Fairley.
See, this is exactly what I'm talking. Please stop. No, I don't want to bring it up every time. Because if you knew what happened the other 36 times we faced off, it wouldn't be a thing.
Doesn't matter. That one time is all that matters.
Yeah, little Giants. Little Giants, just that
Already
one time.
had a better career than Rudy.
Oh man, he has a movie. I don't.
That's fair.
Rudy just rolls
lies,
off the tongue. It's just Kelcey. All right, Jarrett.
All right, Subaru drivers. And I'm not talking about the ones who are like the outbacky, like hiker ones, because that's kind of a very loose term. I'm talking about the souped up SBI, STI, WRX wagons who soup their car up like it's a rally car. They've never taken it off road.
Yeah, the ones that
We have
modify
a lot of
their
those in the
cars.
Northeast. We have a lot of them.
Yeah, they lower their cars, they modify the shit out of them so they sound crazy, but they drive 20 miles an hour down the road.
Their wheels look
Yeah,
like.
I got stuck behind one. And bear in mind, I'm in a lifted Silverado, so I'm going behind them. And I'm like, I can literally see over the hood of their car. They're doing 20 miles an hour down a flat paved road. I'm like, your car can do $160 in its sleep. Why are you driving so fucking slow on a straightaway?
It's what happens when you turn your wheels inward. It's like, what do you expect to happen?
Yeah, it's a good close cousin of the Jeep people. No, they watch a lot. They just watch Fast and Furious and was like, I can do this.
My pick, I think I'm gonna go with the vegans. Because there's some of them are fine. Some of them are like, hey, I'm vegan, so I'll just probably have this or that. I'm like, all right, cool. I appreciate you not killing me because I'm eating a big juicy steak next to you. And then there's some of them that just look at you and just question, like, how could you do this? Did you think of the animal that was killed for this? I'm like, no, I didn't actually. And I'm still gonna eat it. And I'll eat another one tomorrow. And I just like the ones that are just, you're gonna go to hell because you eat meat. I can't do it. So the vegans that are like, they are so like, you need to do what I do, otherwise you're not right. They're on my list.
The murder.
Yeah.
Meat is murder.
That's a very good one. Honestly, that's probably one of the roll your eyes instantly when they start talking people. So I get that. My third pick is gonna be the super political people.
Mm-hmm.
Damn it.
I know Hector keeps getting him on this way. I'm thinking I can get another round out of these.
Bro, like, I mean, the worst part of it is the fact that I was in the military and like there's always that one guy that always has to talk about politics, and it's just it's like I had to deal with that in the military, and then when I get out, I had to work in jobs that had like, older people, and for some weird reason they all assumed I voted Democrat, and I'm just like, why? Like, your guy won. I was like, who's my guy? And I'm thinking sports instantly. I'm like, man, who won this week? And then they're like, Biden. I was like, Biden's my guy? I didn't vote for Biden. I was like,
yeah, no, they're the worst. Like, honestly, the hyper political ones that have to politicize everything. Like, stop. I don't care.
I live in a whole family of that, so I have to hear from every freaking angle.
I work in an industry that's that way. Unfortunately, I have to deal with it every day.
Yeah. So, and then number 4, man, I don't know. I think it's just because like I keep getting this content for some weird reason. But it's the anime with the people that make anime their personality. There is just look, man, I'm just not gonna watch the sub version. I don't know Japanese. I am not going to read and miss out on the action. And like I even tell people, I'm not an anime guy. I watch the basic anime shit. Like I watch Dragon Ball Z. I watch My Hero Academia. I am not. They're like, you ever seen Soul Eater? No, because I never fucking heard about it. So I don't even know if Soul Eater is really an anime. I just made that one up.
But no, I agree. As an anime fan, like I watch anime and I enjoy it, but I will tell you that there are so many awful people that just gatekeep the heck out of it. Like it is so frustrating sitting there. Man, you watch the dubbed version? Yeah, I watch the dubbed version because it's enjoyable. I can turn my mind off and enjoy some action. Like, why not?
Yeah. My wife loves anime so much that she watches the non-dubbed version with the subtitles because it comes out sooner than the dubbed version episodes. But like I can't listen, I was in reading classes in elementary school. I can't read that fast. So I was like, if you want me to watch it with you, we need to watch the dub because I'm not going to understand anything going on. I'm still going to be on line 4 and we're going to be on line 47.
I also want to point out, like, all the people that watch the sub and they still don't learn Japanese yet is just I'm like, does it never click on? Like, I figured that was the reason for them to watch the sub version. It's like, oh, I want to learn Japanese. And it's like, nope, haven't mastered it.
One word of Japanese from that, and that's baka, which means idiot.
Seems pretty important to use.
I can call somebody an idiot in Japanese.
But yeah, so all right, Matt.
I'm gonna go with it doesn't really classify one specific gender of people. It is the individuals that film themselves at the gym with you in the background. The people that show up to the gym with tripods at the squat rack while you're trying to do some rows or something and you're like, I really don't want to be in your video. And they're like, oh, it's my constitutional right to film. I'm like, okay. And then it just gets all messy. And then they'll post it on social media and they'll be like, oh, look at this person in the background looking at me when they're really just looking at the camera. And then you find out that person has an OnlyFans and then they get bashed for that. And it's just like, there's a big mess. And I hate the tripod people in the gym passionately.
And then they get exposed by Joey Swole.
Yeah.
I was going to say the same thing.
My favorite videos that I ever see.
I actually know somebody who got ripped by Joey Swole.
Really deserved it.
She goes to my gym and I was laughing my butt off because I'm like I was like I saw the video. I'm like, wait, I know that squat rack. Wait, I know that girl.
Yeah, man, they really those gym influencers are quotation influencers because let's be honest, like some of them probably only have like very little followers, trying to be the next. I don't know. I don't really know many gym guys.
80% of their followers are like, show me your boobs.
Yeah, that's basically it. There's this one influencer named Nicole Drinkwater who makes fun of that. I always enjoy watching her videos just because she keeps making fun of the influence. Like, yeah, I'm just gonna do this exercise, but I really don't really care about the exercise. I just want you guys to see this ass.
Remember, link is in the bio.
Link is in the bio.
That's marketing at its finest.
All right, Jared.
Mine's kind of not piggybacking off Matt's, but it's in a similar theme. The health and fitness, the health and eating guru. Like, are you going to eat that, gatekeepers? I'm talking about the ones who give me shit for having a beer, the ones who give me crap for having something with preservatives in it, the one who gives me crap for having a protein Pop-Tart because I didn't feel like eating breakfast this morning. It's the ones who everything's got to be with ghee and like, listen, I stopped using like canola oil and all that grapeseed oil, all that crap. It's so bad for your arteries. I stopped using that because you know what? The science backs it up. But if I have to hear one more time how every sugar is bad except for the sugar that they pump up and they advertise for, I'm going to lose my shit. Or that 30 minutes before you wake up, you need 30 minutes of protein, have 30 grams of, like, shut up, man.
Yeah, or the guy that's like, only use this protein powder and this aminos because if you use my promo code, you get 20% off or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, all those guys.
For 30 minutes before they wake up, though.
This is like the advanced level of the Herbalife person.
Yeah, this is Herbalife TikTok edition.
Herbalife.
And the worst part is my mother starts watching this shit because she's been getting healthier and she's on a health kick for the last like 8 months. And she sends me videos like, Mom, this guy has literally gotten roasted for half the shit he posts. Be careful watching his videos.
Yeah, but look at his abs.
No, it's like, but like Jared, a lot of stuff he says makes sense. I'm like, yeah, some of it does, but you got to look through. With these guys, it's 2 lies and the truth. That's how they roll.
They do
very
three truths and a lie. Take a break.
I'd say it's one out of every 3, not one out of every 4.
That's about right.
But it's a very strong pick there. Kelcey.
All right. Well, you guys took some good ones, so I feel like I need to come up with something good here. The runners. We're gonna do the runners, the ultra runners, the marathon runners. This is what we're doing because they're the ones that similar to both what Jared and Matt just kind of said. They start there, but then it's like a whole nother level. Like, oh, I ran 4 miles this weekend. Like, whoa, don't care. My car didn't even travel 20 miles, so congratulations for nothing. Like, it's stupid. I hate him. I can't stand him. One of the worst ones to me is the big, huge dude who's always over on everything, who demands that you run 20 miles a week, like a day type of thing, and it's stupid.
Who's going to carry the boats?
That's
man.
Like as someone that used to run, not so much anymore, but as someone that used to run, I hate running. Even when I ran, I was really good at running. I think my fastest time in the Marine Corps was like 20 minutes and 3 miles. I know a runner's going to say that's slow, and I get it, but that was impressive to me.
That's good.
It's like 4 minutes faster than my average mile.
So, but yeah, I ran, and I never ran because I liked it or I got the runner's high or anything like that. I ran because if I didn't, I was just going to be slow. And obviously Marine Corps fitness standards is a thing. But, yeah, I never liked running, even though I was weirdly good at it. I remember, I remember someone was like, "Hey man, did you run cross country?" I was like, "No," because in high school I was fat. So I was like, plus I hate running. Like, actually, I remember everyone was like, "Dude, why you run every morning?" Because I have to, not because I want to. If I had a choice, I would not be doing that. And I know this now because now I have the choice. And clearly.
Yeah, I mean, look at me and to just think about running, not happening. I've been able to run more than a mile in my entire life. Let me just, I've done it and I hated it. But, even doing it for sports, look, as a lineman, you're not supposed to run far. As a baseball player, you don't run far. As a goalie in soccer, you don't run far. So I didn't need to do all that stuff.
I think Terry Cruz's line in Brooklyn Nine-Nine is very fitting about running. How bad can it be? I immediately regret this. So,
all right.
Why does anybody ever do this?
All right. And my last pick here, my turnaround pick, I think this is a guy we can all attest to, and I think we might even be those guys at some point in time. But the I have a podcast guy. I think we all know what I'm talking about here. I don't know if I have to go into much explanation here, but yeah, the have you guys heard my new episode of the podcast? Have you guys listened to it yet? You really should like and subscribe. And I'm talking in your everyday life, not in a video. Those type of podcast guys.
Yeah.
See, I try so hard not to be that guy. Like, my friends who have known me for a decade, like, wait, you have a podcast? I'm like, I share it on social every day, but I think my friends actually are pretty receptive of it because I don't act like a douchebag about it. That's the one thing I can take pride in, is I will not push my shit ever to my friends unless they're like, "Oh, I'll listen. Cool, brother."
People that have shown interest, I'll send it to. People that don't, I'm like, all right, whatever.
Yeah. Oh no. If I'll invite you to like the page and be part of the little KB and friends group, but besides that, I will never ever push this on anybody ever.
It's just so awkward when you have to explain that you have a podcast.
Yeah.
And it's just so do you make money from it? No.
Not yet.
How long?
I tell them not yet. That's why I always tell them not yet.
So why do you do it?
Exactly. Yeah. How long have you done it? Oh, I've done it for 4 or 5 years. Why do you still do it if you don't make money? Well, I didn't say I didn't make money in the past, but I don't make money right now.
Also, because I want to talk about sports more. I want to hear some nutsack from Fox Sports talk about it.
Yeah, also, it's funny when they're like, how hard can it be? You just got to talk on a mic.
Oh,
I think people think you just sign up and apply to a company and they just start paying you. I'm like, no, you don't get paid right off the bat.
Takes work.
You got to earn your stripes.
Yeah, just like every rock star.
It's like every red stripe bottle.
All right, Jared.
Wait, I have another one?
Yeah, it's your last pick.
Shit. Oh, yeah. Okay. You're a second here. I was not planning on another one.
He's like, I got a roster here.
I gotta think about it. I got like 7 different options now. Shit. The outdoor adventurers people.
Ooh,
now I
man,
am from a family of these. I love how much they love the outdoors. But if I have to hear about how they had to use some random towel they found in their truck as toilet paper one more time, or the fact that they got up at 4 o'clock in the morning and saw 2 mooses getting it on the side of a mountain, I don't care. All right, seriously, like the hiking shit, it's cool. Nature is awesome. I love people who go out and really enjoy this beautiful planet we live on. But at the same time, dude, I will happily sleep until 7:30, get up, go work out, and then go enjoy nature.
Just take a
hike to me.
I don't need
hike to me is just walking up a hill, seeing a view, cracking a beer, walking back down.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much.
My beers, well, actually, and then drinking more beers once you get down.
I feel like hiking is a lot more exhausting than it is running at times, especially when it's like this ridiculous trail that you have to like go do.
Oh, I've never.
I got one for you, quick. Shenandoah National Park up in Virginia. I had to scale the side of a mountain, 300-foot drop onto really sharp trees and rocks. Nothing stopping me from falling. I have this much of a gap for my feet, and I'm just like scaling the wall like this for about 100, like maybe 100 feet. Then I had to climb straight up. Never again. That was horrifying. And I'm not even afraid of heights, and I was scared.
Yeah. See, I stopped hiking after I tried to hike up an easy trail with my torn ACL and almost slipped and fell down the mountainside. And I was like, I don't think I need to be outdoors. I don't think it supports somebody my size. So I learned.
Yeah. Outdoor adventures. Good pick.
With my last pick, I have a couple in my head. I think I'm going to go with the emotional social media users, like the ones that put their entire life story and events and occurrences on like Facebook and things like that. It's like those people that are like, yeah, that are like, here's my Thanksgiving Easter spread, and it's like nobody cares about your freaking pumpkin pie, Susan. Nobody cares. Or the ones that are just like, today, I was talking to my son's father and this happened, and I can't believe this happened with Bud Light with this commercial. Like, never again, I'm boycotting. Like, nobody cares. Nobody cares if you never drink Bud Light again. Nobody on Facebook gives a crap.
Yeah.
It's just those.
It's okay when it's an older person who's never used social media before. Like, this is like, they're like 5 years into their life of social media, but like the ones that have grown up with social media, that was what we did in 2011. That's not what we do today.
Yeah. No, it's the ones that are like 40 and under that have been on social media. They've had Facebook since 2009. And I'm like, come on, what are we doing? We all know Facebook is where you post your memes. And then Twitter is where you post things that you wouldn't say normally on social media. And then Instagram is where you just post your fun little family pictures.
That's where my dogs go. Social media
Yeah, I mean, it's like at one point you're just like, we know what you're doing this for. You're just doing this to get attention. Like, especially like, and when they do the hot take, like when you mentioned the Bud Light thing, it's like they know they're gonna get a reaction, right? They know that there's gonna be somebody that's gonna respond to it, and so it's just like that's like I think that's the worst part is that you do all this because you want to get some sort of reaction. It's just like, just go home. Touch grass.
Those people are usually the same people that are the political people as well. And they drive me crazy.
Yeah.
All right. I am actually conflicted with 2 specific ones, but I think just because this seems to be the year for these people, and that is conspiracy theories. It has been the year for these people, especially with the Cat Williams interview, and then I mean now that what happened with P Diddy, what's going on with him, this is your year, guys. This is your year. Like, it's just like everything. Ooh,
with the ship hitting the bridge.
Yeah,
because that was a big conspiracy.
I even heard the solar eclipse. It was a conspiracy.
Yep, me too.
Yep. So it's so far has been quite the year for these guys. So, and my I guess the other one, just so you guys know that I was conflicted by, was Parents.
Okay, I need explanation on the parents one. Hold on, what?
So obviously Edward is nowhere remotely that person, but like like the parents that want you to as a parent. This is why I'm concerned. Like those people, you not. I don't know if that.
Yeah. The overly like they became a parent and now finally that's all they talk about is, oh well, raising my kid, I do this.
Man, so funny story with Edward. So when his sons were born, I went to go visit them in the hospital, and I remember he was telling me about here in Houston, it's like one of the big places where a lot of people come from across the world to go, for treatment for children. And so he was like, yeah, man, I see some of those kids, and I just think, man, that could be my child. And I was just like, all right, Edward, stop. I was like, I get it. I'm not trying to be like an asshole at anything, but like, don't be that parent. Please avoid at all costs being that parent. Like, you can still have sympathy, but just don't do that. Don't ever do the hand to your chest, as a parent thing. Cause I was like, I'm going to slap you, but
kid hiked like Mount Everest and died, and be like, oh man, that could have been my kid. I was like, oh, your kid has plans to go all the way to Mount Everest and hike it up.
You have somebody to send your kid to go hike Mount Everest today?
Yeah, right. My backup, or I guess you could say my undrafted free agent pick, would have been the bougie people, like the ones that put reviews on like all-inclusive like luxury resorts in the Caribbean and are like, I give it a 7 out of 10. I mean, the rooms were okay, the tub was nice, the food was good, but like I've had better. And excursions were limited. And then you go to that same place and you're like, I have the most comfortable bed in the world. I have a full bar in my room. I have a jet ski pool, beaches all over the place, free food and drinks all day. And I'm like, what is there to complain about? Like, why are you giving this place a 7 out of 10? This is like a fucking 12 out of 10.
Barbados, it's just
Yeah, right. Oh, Jamaica, I would go to this part, not this part again. I'm like, every part is amazing, I'm sure. Like, if you're from like Kentucky, like I think you're gonna love everywhere in Jamaica.
Turks and Caicos.
Hawaii, really? Like Hawaii?
Oh, there was a lava flow one time in Hawaii. Oh no, how terrible! It ruined my vacation. Well, don't go to the lava flow.
Oh, I didn't get the complimentary glass of like $6 champagne, so my stay was ruined.
Nobody put a lay on me when I got to the airport.
Oh yeah, that's actually I've seen one of those.
I didn't get a chocolate. I didn't get a chocolate on my pillow when I got to my hotel.
They didn't take my towels and fold it into an elephant.
They did a chocolate, but it was man-made, not regular.
I couldn't reach the coconut in the tree to make my own coconut milk.
So one of these guys called me a Howley.
I saw Butters over there in Hawaii.
I'll say the other one is for me was actually a couple, but the one that was probably most I was probably going to use was the comic book nerds, like the comic book gatekeepers, similar to the anime people, but like the ones that gatekeep comic books and say, oh, that's not comic book accurate, that's not this. It's also the Star Wars purists. Like
they got to ruin everything.
Like, let the comic book movie be what it is. As a fan of comics, like it's the spirit of the comics, not what actually is in the comic that matters.
My backup would have been like the social media flexer, like the one who just like always just putting some crazy shit, but you meet them in person and they dress like a fucking like regular human being, and you watch them. They have to document every 5 minutes of their day, and you're like, dude, come on, nobody cares.
I'll say this one because I know nobody will say it, but the guys that make military, their personality is also one that like really pisses me the fuck off because more than likely, this is just coming off of my experience. More than likely, these guys were literally the definition of a shitbag. Probably got kicked out of the military because he was smoking pot. But every Memorial Day, every Veterans Day, always got to put a post like, yes, honor my brothers. And I'm just like, bro, you fucking told me fuck you every time when I needed you to do a task. So,
and then they'll make sure to take advantage of the veteran discounts on Memorial Day. Yeah, that was what
veteran discount on Bud Light.
Yeah, I didn't feel like I had the right to say that one personally, but yeah, I have plenty of friends and family that are that way.
Yeah, I figured I might as well say it just because I know it's not many civilians feel comfortable saying that one. But yes, also the ones that piss me off the most are the ones that like watching a movie. that wasn't accurate. I was like, dude, it's a fucking movie. Like,
you have fucking Normandy. Shut up.
Can I just watch the stupid fucking movie? I don't care if it's not accurate.
And this is another one. The married people, the ones that just got married or are getting married and are like, no, not you, Matt. You don't do it. But the ones that are like, oh my God, we're 7 days into our wedding and this is the way it's going fantastic. It's like,
Oh,
okay,
no.
great. Yeah, you're 7 days into your wedding. And it's like, 7 years in, he gave me flowers. Like, I don't care. Stop. Nobody cares.
You know,
Really
I
cares.
hate the people that are like, how do you feel?
But shut the fuck up.
He was like, I hate the people that are like, oh, how do you feel? I'm like, it's fucking Thursday. I feel fine. I don't know what you want to tell you.
I will say, man, the one thing about like the wedding day, at least from what, obviously I never got married, but I'm just saying, like, from what my friends told me was like, the thing I hated most was I could never just sit down and eat. Like the whole night, because you had to take pictures with everybody. Oh, this is one thing we got to do. And it was like the dude never had it. Like all my friends all said, I never had a chance to just sit down and eat some food, and it was just like torture. And I was like, man,
that's like
we did buffet style. They let me and my wife get our plates first, and we sat down at our little table and we were eating, and everybody else came up and talked to us, and I ate right in their face. Like they were talking to me like, oh, I'm like, I'm sorry,
getting mine.
Like, I have to take pictures when I'm done with this. So nope, I was eating right in front of them. Then my sister-in-law brought a date, and my wife wasn't aware of who the date was. So my brother-in-law was then grilling the guy. So it's my sister-in-law, my brother-in-law, and the dude, and he's getting grilled by my brother-in-law. And then my other brother-in-law comes over and starts grilling the guy. Now I'm behind all of them, standing with my big plate of food, eating. Just standing behind them, fully up, just watching all of the drama, watching this poor guy get grilled at my wedding.
That's like the man version of sipping tea.
Yeah.
Just like
I'm here for the entertainment at this point.
The only thing I wish is somebody got a picture of that. Like I just wanted a picture. I just want to see a picture of Matt just hanging out, eating his food.
I need Matt. If that happened, Matt needed to post that and just put dinner and a show.
We something happened with, I'll have to look into the footage. Something happened with the video guy, and he was like, oh, we couldn't do the drone because it was raining. So he gave us all of our raw footage. So if I could find him just randomly filming me, I'll like snip it and I'll send it over. That'd be funny.
That might be one way to get viral on social media. Just like
that could be the next Korner Booth post here.
Just zoom in on Matt just scarfing down a plate.
I left my wedding very full. So I did fine.
We're just learning that Matt's a different breed, and that's what we're learning right now. This is what we learned from this. It's just Matt's just built differently. He's like, I'm not gonna comply to your rules of marriage.
Nah, I was like, I paid a lot of money for this. I'm gonna eat this entire plate of food.
Respect. But all right, that was the draft. Man, I had so much fun doing this with you guys. That was awesome. Probably I need to start doing more drafts where it's more than just me and one person. So I thought this was a solid one. I definitely feel like I won this draft, by the way. Not to sound cocky by any means. But
you did all right.
Yeah, whatever.
I'll give you two of them, not three of them.
But obviously, guys, Jared and Matt, this is your time. You can go ahead and promote anything that you want to promote for Korner Booth.
I think the new guys got promoted today.
Well, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, pretty much everything. You could find us at the Korner Booth Pod. We go live every Monday and Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern time. And we post religiously on all of our social media sites. So check out me, Jared, and our guy, Chris, a.k.a. Melvin Dew, on every Thursday, Monday. And our newest member, Nate the Great, Nate Wynn. Or I don't know how to say his last name. I might have botched that one.
Oh, you got it.
Negan?
Oh, it's Win.
Yeah,
I thought he said it differently.
I've been pronouncing his name wrong for the past like two years then.
Yeah, so tune into the Korner Booth's version of Ted Lasso with Nate the Great joining the cast on every Thursday and Monday, 7 o'clock Eastern time.
Hopefully no betrayals over there, but all right.
No.
I told him he starts getting his little megalomaniac shit. I'm kicking him to the curb.
No betrayals.
All right. And Kelcey, this is your time to promote.
Yeah, you can catch myself, a DJ who's also a regular member over there on the Korner Booth. You can catch us live every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern time on any one of your social media platforms or YouTube, and then catch it anywhere else live or the next morning, audio only on any platform you catch your podcast. Find us on social media. at high_low_sports on Twitter, and then everywhere else at high-low sports.
All right, guys. Make sure you guys check out Korner Booth and High-Low Sports. Thank you so much, guys, for coming on, and we'll just go ahead and segue over to the wrap-up of this episode. And that is episode 171. I want to thank Jose Tellez and Kelcey Coyne for coming on for overreactions and headlines. Also want to thank Kelcey Coyne, Matt Odrazzo, and Jared Klim for coming on for five-a-side draft. I think it was a very fun draft. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. I'm sure we offended somebody at some point, but we did. But you know what? That's life. Everyone's going to get offended in some sense. But thank you so much for listening, man. I want to give a shout out to the Belly Up Podcast Network. Check out the website, BellyUpSports.com. Lots of great articles constantly being written on all things sports across the country. So go ahead and check them out. Obviously, Masters has concluded, so I'm sure there's going to be a ton of articles covering the Masters. I'm guessing now the focus will be more towards baseball and the NBA, especially as the NBA is going into their playoffs as well. Probably see some hockey as well. I think Stanley Cup playoffs is also Stanley Cup and NBA playoffs usually kind of go hand in hand, but lots of stuff that's going to be going on. So make sure you guys go ahead and check it out. Also, UFC 300. I'm sure they're going to have some recaps of that as well. So make sure you go ahead and check it out, BellyUpSports.com. Follow them on Instagram and X at BellyUpMedia and at BellyUpSports. Also check out their fantasy site, BellyUpFantasy.com, and check them out on Instagram and X at BellyUpFantasy. Want to give a shout out to GolzTV, man. Jose Tellez, man, the mastermind behind GolzTV. Follow him on all. If you guys want to know everything that's going on at GolzTV, obviously check it out, GolzTV. Follow them on Instagram at GolzTV. Once again, Golz.TV, and on the X at GolZ_TV, Golz_TV. So that's the other way you can go. If you guys like the intros and outros that this podcast always drops, it's all behind the mastermind that is Roosevelt Spencer. We love Roosevelt so much that we have made him the namesake of the Roosevelt Spencer Player of the Year Award. He does a lot for us, man. We always appreciate it, man, especially with his grind right now. So if you guys like the beat work, man, check him out on Instagram at ThatGuyDope. Once again, at ThatGuyDope. And shoot him a message. Tell him, hey, I need some beats. Can you help me out? And he'll take great care of you like he always does with us. So go ahead and check him out. Always grateful for Spencer, man. So thank you so much for listening to episode 171. Catch us next week for episode 172, where we're going to recap the quarterfinals. We'll be recapping the quarterfinals of Champions League and Champions League, Europa League, and then preview the semifinals of Champions League, Europa League, and Europa Conference League. So get ready for that. Europa Conference League. We're finally going to start talking about you guys. So get ready for that one. Thank you so much for listening. Catch us next week. Take care, guys.